Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is the season finale of The Masked Singer. Can you believe it? Man, these past 8 weeks have flown by extremely fast. I cannot believe it. Can you believe it? This is the season finale. 8 o'clock. We're T minus an hour and a half until the whole shindig big blah, 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 blah is done. Yeah, I can't believe it either. It just felt like yesterday we discovered this show and we just started talking. And so far, we've guessed every single person right. We have 3 contestants left: the bee, the peacock, and the monster. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. So, to get today's show started while we're waiting for people to file in, because we are starting a little bit earlier this week, a half an hour early, because the show is not 9 o'clock tonight. We have a 2-hour season finale. The show starts at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, of course, accordingly, whatever your Central and West Coast. I want to thank you guys for joining me on the live stream. As I said before, a little bit earlier. I want to say hello to everyone. Hey, Adam. Hey, Elizabeth. Hey, Marianne. How you guys doing tonight? It is going to be a fun show. We're going to wait for the group to pile up a little bit more before we get started. As I said before, we're a bit early, so it might take a little while to get more people on. I hope you guys are enjoying your Wednesday so far. I know, depending on where you're at, last Wednesday was completely cold out and snowy. Today it's cold, but no snow. For those who are new to the YouTube channel or what we do on this channel, my name is Joey. I'm an executive audio producer whose job it is to find audio for morning shows. And for those morning shows, the audio has to sound really good. And if it sounds bad, whether there's a high frequency in it or if it sounds very muddy, I have to go ahead and pretty much find that frequency, cut it out, or for the muddiness, pretty much to cut out the low end and make it sound clean so that the stations can actually use it. And so when they first aired these Masked Singer videos, the Clue videos, you can see that the audio was pitched up and sped up so that you would have no idea who this celebrity is. And from the very first episode, I said, well, I could probably retro engineer this, bring it back, and figure out who the celebrity's voice is by slowing it down, pitch correcting it, and then from there, hearing it. Now that, plus all the Clue videos they give us every single week, we can determine who every single celebrity is. And from the very first week, when we got the first Clue videos, we've pretty much been on the money. We have not gotten one wrong, even though we didn't know the first week. And the reason why we didn't know, because we didn't know what to do. It was a brand new show. I still like to say that we're 10 for 10. And, you know, so for every week when you and I got together to do these live streams, we've been right on the money. I mean, seriously, we've gotten it all correct. And I'm excited for tonight because we do have 3 left: the monster, the peacock, and the bee. And I'm pretty sure we're square on with who we think is going to win and who they are. Now, going into the comment section, before we dive into everything, feel free to comment who you think is going to win, aka who character, and then on top of that, who you think that character is. Once again, we have the bee, the peacock, and the monster. And for those who are joining me, we're starting a little bit earlier tonight because the show starts at 8 p.m. instead of 9, because we have a 2-hour season finale. It's actually really funny. I was at work and someone said to me, hey, you guys ready for tonight at 9 p.m.? I'm like, no, don't come in at 9. By 9 o'clock, we should already have one singer unmasked. Now, of course, we don't see the show ahead of time, so we have no idea how this is going to work. I'm assuming that in the first hour, they're either all going to perform together or then perform individually, and then they'll reveal probably one of them by at least, 8:55? And then out of that, we'll go into another round of maybe more singing. It's weird. I don't really know. Unless it's just 2 episodes slammed together, which I'd be surprised. I don't know why they want to go into March. But yeah, I want to hear what you guys think. And going through the comments, Maria says Peacock is going to win. AJ says he loves the Peacock as much as the monster. Netta says, I feel that the monster is going to win. Of course, she's loved him since the first performance. Rachel says, monster is winning, but my favorite is the peacock. Caught Dead says, who do I think is going to win? We're going to go through all that. Don't worry. Hey, Rachel, how you guys doing? But yeah, we're doing pretty good here, guys. So let's dive into it. For those who are just joining us for the first time, I'll give you guys a little run around real quickly. My name is Joey. I'm an executive audio producer whose job it is to find audio to put on air. And when the audio sounds bad, it's my job to pitch correct it, or at least not pitch correct, at least in this version, yes, but to make it sound good. And that's either cutting out the high frequencies, maybe getting rid of the muddiness by taking out the lower end. And when they first aired these Clue videos on The Masked Singer, you'll notice that the audio is sped up and pitched up, so you would have no idea who that celebrity's voice is. And I was thinking from day one, hey, what could we do here so that we can actually hear the real celebrity's voice behind this Masked Singer? I figured I could slow it down, I could pitch correct it, and then from there we could hear the celebrity voice, determine who the voice is off of that, but we could also grab the Clue videos and add in the clues with the voices, and we could determine who that celebrity is. So with that being said, right now, we're going to go through the 3 remaining contestants, the bee, the monster, and the peacock. And so far, you guys are pretty torn. What's interesting, it's the fact that when I asked who do you guys think is going to win, I'm counting up everyone's tally as we're going here. Right now, the monster is winning in first place, but not by a lot. Second place is the peacock, and third is the bee, and the bee's losing by a lot. Netta just asked, did you see the trailer they released last night for the monster performing? Yes. For those who don't know, and we can start with the monster right now if you want, they released a trailer for The Masked Singer, and the trailer was a video of the monster singing. And if you listen to it, it sounds exactly who we guessed it would be. And if you guys want, I could play a clip for you. The Masked Singer, we're going to open up their Twitter page, scroll down. Okay. Here is what they did for The Masked Singer. If it wants to, 1 second. Let's see. Oh, fun thing is, Weird Al retweeted saying, I can't wait to find out if it's me or not on the show, which is funny. We know it's not Weird Al, but it is pretty cool. But a lot of people have been guessing it was Weird Al. Okay, here is, can't find it. Where's it at? Let's see. Come on, where's the monster audio? Oh, I guess I can't find it on their Twitter page. Anyway, they did post the monster preview video for singing. Marlene says she thinks the bee will win. AJ says, but when Nicole said that the winner was the most surprising, maybe she was talking about which costume/person won and not the actual person in the costume being surprised. I mean, look, there's a lot of things that could potentially go into this. Joey, can you bring up something that could change your thoughts about who's winning? First, let's go through all the clues, and we're going to go through who I actually think is going to win. Because a lot of clues, it matters, first of all, you have to remember, we have to pick the right celebrity, and then from there, we have to determine who's going to win. Looking at who's left, there is someone who should be the clear winner. But because all the producers keep saying there's a twist at the end, it's probably not going to be someone who's mainly known for singing. But that's for a little bit later. Right now, we're going to go through the audio. So, as I said before, this is what the monsters sounded like when Fox actually aired the audio. This is not pitch corrected. It's not slowed down. This is what it sounds like.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the peacock. Here we go.
I never cared about the rules of the game until I became a player in this competition. I learned the hard way that it takes just one slip to make you lose your place in the world. I've been vilified and persecuted for sounding like a ringtone, but it ain't me. Putting on a front made me angry, and after doing some soul searching, I was ready for something new. It's crazy that having my identity stripped has brought me the comeback I've wanted for a decade. I've been hiding behind faster tracks until now. I'm finally ready to slow down. Tonight, I'm putting everything I have into this song. I've come too far now to take off this mask.
All right, so that's the package they gave us. And then we ran it through our system. We slowed it down, pitch corrected it, and this is what it sounds like.
I never cared about the rules of the game until I became a player in this competition. I learned the hard way that it takes just one slip to make you lose your place in the world. I've been vilified and persecuted for sounding like a ringtone, but it ain't me. Putting on the front made me angry, and after doing some soul searching, I was ready for something new. It's crazy that having my identity stripped has brought me the comeback I wanted for a decade. I've been hiding behind faster tracks Until now, I'm finally ready to slow it down. Tonight, I'm putting everything I have into this song. I've come too far now to take off this mask.
So everyone, that's what the real audio sounds like when it comes to the monster. Now, I mean, you can guess just off of the voice, without even looking at the clues, that this is somebody who has a deeper voice, someone who's obviously not really known to be not auto-tuned, as someone who obviously sings normal because he talks about being a ringtone. But let's dive into these clues. In the beginning, we learned that the monster was 5'8". Okay, his weakness was being misunderstood. He claims that the world labeled him as a monster and that he's rewriting his mixtape to prove that he's more than just a puff and fluff. He says that he used to be at the top of his game, but the game turned on him, and that he retreated back into his cave to take a break from the public eye. And some of the most recent clues talked about him wearing a size 12 shoe. Also talked about him not being a professional singer, because he was asked if he was a professional singer, and he says not to everybody. And then, to me, a couple online clues. One being the most important, it says that he loves the good life. He talks about liking sports, playing video games. Talks about being from the South. He talks about having a lot of bad experiences as a child, and of course having to move out in order to be very well, that he went through a tragic time 10 years ago, because he talks about being a decade. So those are the main clues that the monster gave us. And everyone's right now's guesses, because I'm reading the comments as it's going on. Hey, Jagger, by the way, as I'm reading the comments, we have everyone guessing it being anywhere from CeeLo Green to Jamie Foxx to R. Kelly to Kenan Thompson and then T-Pain. And to eliminate majority of them, 5'8", it's not CeeLo Green, not Jamie Foxx, it's not R. Kelly. I can tell you that right now. And how could it be Kenan Thompson when he's sitting on the panel? It'd be very hard for him to do. Which leaves us with the one person who I've been saying from day one, who I think the monster is, and that is T-Pain. Now, to kind of go through the clues and really dive into why I think it's the monster, first I want to play an interview clip of the monster from just a couple weeks ago, so you have an idea what the monster's real voice sounds like. Now, to me, when we do these pitch corrections, you have to remember that Fox has pretty much been learning that we've been doing this, so they've went out of their way to go ahead and let's just say add some distortion so we don't know who it is. But let me go ahead and play a clip of T-Pain first singing the national anthem, so you have an idea what he sounds like when he sings.
For the land of the free.
So you can hear his vibrato. It's very well known when he sings. You could hear that. And then you can hear his tone. It's a lot bassier. Which is, believe it or not, probably a lot different than any other contestant we had on the show so far. Now, here is an interview of T-Pain, just so you can hear his regular voice.
And he did much more crazy shit on Eric Andre than I did. I feel like that's gonna happen.
So if you want to compare that audio with what we pretty much gave for the monster, here it is.
I never cared about the rules of the game until I became a player in this competition. I learned the hard way that it takes just one slip.
I mean, it sounds like it's matching really well. You have to remember, though, one was right on a microphone, RE20, so it's going to be crisper and cleaner. The other one was not in front of RE20. It sounds like more of a Newman. Anyway, so, I mean, the audio itself, the voice itself, the singing voice all match up. With the clues, the video game one refers to T-Pain being a big video game player. For those who don't know, T-Pain actually plays video game on Twitch. He live streams. He's on Xbox. Actually, he's pretty cool. Someone sent me the link earlier in our live stream about his username, that he actually allows people to play with him. And he does this so that he can get some ideas for new songs. That's pretty cool. Talking about wearing wearing shoes that are 12 size. That's T-Pain. That's the kind of shoe he wears. Talking about having, the world labeling him as a monster, and then he retrieved back to his cave. For those who don't know, T-Pain really was on top of his game. from 2003 through 2009. I mean, every song he did, Buy You a Drink, Bartender, everything he was on, featured on, or if he was the featured act, really hit gold. And then in 2009, something happened. Jay-Z released a song, DOA. It's called Death of an Auto-Tune. Get it in DOA. And while it wasn't pretty much calling out T-Pain in particular, meaning it wasn't just like Jay-Z saying T-Pain sucks or whatever. He's pretty much bashing anyone who used auto-tune. And at that time, who was the hottest person using auto-tune? T-Pain. So T-Pain, like for example, a week after that had happened, T-Pain did a concert where people started screaming at him during the show. So everyone kind of turned on him, and the music world started turning on him. Like for example, Christina Aguilera was wearing T-shirts that were very rude that says auto-tune is for, and it was a female genitalia with a P word. So, I mean, at that point, 2009, he retreated into his cave, even though he did try to release new music in 2011 and it didn't really work out for him. But he retreated in his cave for a decade because he mentions it being a decade. 2019, 10 years later, he's finally releasing new music. And to say that he's rewriting his mixtape as a clue, in August, T-Pain released an album of new songs, which I'm saying that in quotes because by new songs, for those 10 years, he did write music. He wrote music, but he didn't release it because he didn't know what the industry was going to react to it. So he held it all up. And it was his mixtape volume 1. And in that album, we have a bunch of older / new songs for T-Pain. And just recently, and I'm not even exaggerating, if you go on YouTube right now, you find out that T-Pain released practically a whole album of music. I posted in one of our Facebook groups, but just randomly posted a bunch of new music. And the new album's coming out is Mixtape Volume 2. So he's rewriting his mixtape to prove that he's more than fluff and puff. But what's interesting is that you would think there'd be less auto-tune in it, and it's not. I don't know what had happened there. And then the one really important clue talking about his childhood, saying that he stayed inside because we lived in a really bad neighborhood. For those who don't know, T-Pain is from Tallahassee. Am I saying that wrong? No, I'm not. Tallahassee. And he really did have a hard, struggling life. I mean, where he lived was very gang-related. It was very unsafe, so he stayed inside. And for those who don't know, T-Pain actually stands for, get ready for this, Tallahassee Pain. Tallahassee Pain, shortened down to T-Pain. So that also describes him being from the South. So once again, a lot of clues point to it being T-Pain. Now, do you agree with me? Do you think it's T-Pain? I mean, we just went through a lot of different stuff there. Do you think it's T-Pain? We're going to go through every one over here. So we say that last week he did something all teed up. Yeah. Oh, one other clue I forgot to mention is that in the video or on the online clues, it says that he loves the good life. For those who don't know, he did a song with Kanye West called Good Life. But looks like you guys are all agreeing. Allie says Kean Thompson is a good guess, though. True. He did fit some of the clues. A lot of you guys are guessing T-Pain. Janine says, of course, it's T-Pain. Megan says, yep, it's T-Pain. The only thing that's got me double guessing is all the stars have been dancing with the stars. It would make T-Pain the only one who's been not. For those who don't know about the show, the main producer, Chris, is that his name? I believe his name is Chris. He is the main producer for a lot of TV shows, whether it's Dancing with the Stars. I actually think he may even be one on The Voice. And what we've been finding out slowly is that majority of the contestants who are on The Masked Singer happen to be on Dancing with the Stars at one point in their time. Whether it's Donny Osmond, whether it's Gladys Knight, whether it is Rumor Willis. I mean, obviously, Terry Bradshaw has not been on there, but some of them, majority of them have. Like Ricky Lake has been on there, but T-Pain has not. T-Pain has not been on there. Now, for those who were trying to guess who's going to win for tonight, what I found was interesting is that same producer mentioned in an interview with E! Now about 4 weeks ago, I think 4 weeks is when we first brought it up, was that the winner of the show tonight is someone who has not been named by the panelists. And what they're referring to is that throughout the entire show, of course, the panelists are playing along with us. Obviously, they don't have the online clues. They only have what they see in front of them. And when they filmed the show in 3 weeks, it's not like they went home and they started Googling things. So the panelists have not guessed the winner of the show. And obviously, they had guessed Gladys Knight and they have guessed Donny Osmond. But they have not guessed T-Pain. Because once again, he's been quiet. He's not been around the scenes. So when they did these interviews saying that, oh, the winner of the show is someone that you never expect, it's kind of crazy, it's insane, is because for people, there's a lot of people who don't know who T-Pain is. So it's a big deal for them. And they also said that the winner is not a real singer, but is a singer, because they're all professional singers. So that's another reason why I think that it's going to be T-Pain / the Monster. Tammy says exactly Monster. Hey, Jagger again. Joey Fatone is saying Peacock's Donny Osmond. Yep. And then Dead Man Walking says Monster for the win. So I agree. But let's go ahead and continue through this audio, I guess I'll just call this universe. We're going to go over to the Peacock. Now, I'll be honest with you. If I were to pick who I really want to win the show versus who's going to win the show, I want the Peacock to win. And that's because I'm a singer myself. I mean, as you can tell, I've got a ton of singers, mostly jazz or crooners. But just like the story goes, the Peacock, your mother has probably had pictures of him on the wall. Well, I grew up in my household pretty much singing Puppy Love over and over again because my mother absolutely loved Donny Osmond. But just like before, and we have a couple new people, so I want to introduce myself again. Sorry for everyone else who's been on here, but my name is Joey. I'm an executive audio producer whose job it is to find audio for shows. And when the audio sounds bad, it's my job to make it sound good. So if there's a high frequency, we define the frequency and get rid of it. If it's muddy, we cut out the lower end. And when Fox first aired these Clue videos, you notice the audio sounds funny. They speed it up and they pitch correct it because they figured that if we heard the real celebrity voice, we would know exactly who it is. We would know who it is, right? Well, I went ahead and I said, let me go ahead, slow it down, pitch correct it so that I can hear the real celebrity voice. Now that, plus the clues they give us every single week, we can determine who that celebrity is. So right now we're on the Peacock. We're ready to the Monster. This is what the Peacock sounded like in the package they gave us through Fox. And I'm going to run and quickly grab my computer while because my computer's dying. So you listen to the audio and I'll be right back.
Oh, Doc, things are not good. Last week, my performance wasn't my best. Robin felt the song wasn't suited to my style. The thing is, I'm a perfectionist when I perform, and I hate to let my little soldiers of affection down. I pride myself in being the brightest, most well-rounded performer of the flock. So this week, I'm going to give it everything I've got to be the idol that they all deserve. I'm bringing in energy and heat with this song that will have you flying out of your seats. Tonight, I'm making it all about you, my beloved peaheads. Because, after all, it had to be you.
Because after all, it had to be you. It had to be you. And now this is what the Peacock sounds like after we run it through our system. We pitch corrected it. We slowed it down and revealing the real audio of the Peacock.
Oh, Doc, things are not good. Last week, my performance wasn't my best. Robin felt the song wasn't suited to my style. The thing is, I'm a perfectionist when I perform, and I hate to let my little soldiers of affection down. I pride myself in being the brightest, most well-rounded performer of the flock. So this week, I'm going to give it everything I've got to be the idol that they all deserve. I'm bringing in energy and heat with this song that will have you flying out of your seats. Tonight, I'm making it all about you, my beloved peaheads. Because, after all, it had to be you.
Man, he gave us so many clues in that alone. It's kind of insane. But if you guys have any guesses who the Peacock is just based off the voices, just based off the voice, who do you think it is? Right now, comment in the live stream, and then I'm going to go through the clues. First of all, we found out that the Peacock is 5'9". By the way, I want to just mention this for next year. If there's any producer watching the show, do not tell us the height next year for season 2. And the main reason why is, for those who don't know, they took the heights from Google and they added it in there. And then about 3 or 4 weeks ago, someone went in and then changed all of the heights. And it caused so much arguing in all of our forums when it comes to The Masked Singer. And it was quite funny because what would wind up happening is that people who joined the show later were arguing with people who've been around longer, who already knew that they changed it. No, it's Google. You can't trust everything you read online, everyone. That's the bottom line. But we found out he's 5'9". He shares the love of the spotlight. He made his stage debut at 5 years of age. You can see him. He's just putting on the shows in My DNA. We find out that it's been a while since your mom had posters of me on her bedroom wall. Additionally, he claims to be best friends with Michael Jackson. He's ready to make a comeback. And then he puts on all these weird little things in the videos. He gives us a lot of Vegas vibes. He puts a lot of magic things together. A lot of clues he gave us were a rainbow flag, a wig. There's a lot of clues in his videos, such as Department of Youth. We talk about a lot of different things. What do you say? Affection of Soldiers. I forget what his name of the song was. Donny Osmond. Soldiers of Love. That's another big clue. And you guys have been giving us a lot of good guesses for the last couple of weeks. You guys guessed Tom Jones because he does a lot of Vegas. You guys guessed Neil Diamond, a lot of Vegas. Some of you guys guessed Elton John. Not really quite sure on that one. David Hasselhoff. Would have been really cool to have him on the show, maybe for next year. But the main one you guys are guessing right now as I'm scrolling through here is Donny Osmond. Gail says Donny Osmond. Of course, Jagger says Donny Osmond. Linda says Donny. Dead Man Walking says Donny. Netta Jones says Donny Osmond. So I think that we can all agree that this is Donny Osmond. Of course, we're going to go through the clues together. Donny Osmond just so happened to be 5'9". When it comes to being best friends with Michael Jackson, he was best friends with Michael Jackson. You have to remember that they kind of grew up in the same time period as kids. You know, they were, I mean, if you go through one of our videos, we even have a video of a young Donny Osmond hosting and presenting an award show with Michael Jackson. So that is kind of interesting. The one thing he talked about being a music prodigy, which was interesting for those who don't know, Donny Osmond, that whole family, Olive was the mom's name. I forget what the father's name was. They had a mess load of kids. I want to say it's something like 7 or 8 or something like that. And his older brothers, the 4 older brothers, obviously a lot older than Donny, had a traveling barbershop quartet. It was actually called the Osmond Barbershop Quartet that traveled the country. They actually, if I remember correctly, they sang mostly religious stuff, but they found their way on the Andy Williams show. They became really well known. I mean, they did 2 years on there and they continued touring after the show. So at that point in time, Donny Osmond pretty much had a standard he had to live up to, which was with his brothers. And becoming a teen idol. During the video, he talks about him being the idol that everyone knows, that they deserve. He really was a teen idol. I mean, this guy, let me pull this up for you, Puppy. Let me pull up Puppy Love. This guy could sing as a kid like crazy. Puppy Love. Oh, Puppy Love. I mean, he was, well, that's Paul Anka. Puppy Love. Donny Osmond, Puppy Love. Trying to pull up a clip for you where he's like 14 singing Puppy Love. Puppy Love, Donny Osmond. And if I remember correctly, Paul Anka first came out with this song, and then Donny Osmond really made it a hit. So here we go. Donny Osmond, Puppy Love. He's the Justin Bieber of back then. And it's funny because if I remember correctly, his brothers are playing the instruments for this song.
And they called it Puppy Love.
And the funny thing is that in this video, he has the hair just like how Justin Bieber wound up having it. Sort of funny. How
the young heart really feels, and why I love her so.
So that's 1972. So he is the teen idol of the 70s. As before, I think he was 16 in that video, if I do the math correctly. Bad with numbers. But yes, so he was the teen idol. To going through where he's talking about it being a while since your mom had posters of me on her wall, not to make myself very aged, but my mother, sorry. But yes, it fits for my mother being a teenager, and that she did, according to her, actually did have a poster of Donny Osmond on her wall. I've never seen it. Who knows if that actually was true? But yes, we're going to go through more of the clues. One of them being Department of Youth. In one of the videos, it's panning over from the peacock being outside to like an end table. And on there is a triangle that says Department of Youth. And for those who don't know, Alice Cooper came out with a song called Department of Youth. And in that song, he's yelling to them, "Who gave you the power?" And towards the end of the song, as he's pretty much waiting for like, "Oh, you did," they scream out Donny Osmond. So to me, that was a big, big giveaway. And the next big giveaway that we spoke about was the rainbow flag and the wig. Now, obviously in the comment section, you guys are guessing a ton of great stuff. You guys remember what the rainbow flag meant for the peacock, right? You guys remember? The peacock doing that rainbow flag refers to Joseph in the amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. There's actually, we have a picture online. I don't know how I can add pictures into the live stream. Can I add it in? No, it won't let me add it in. But Donny Osmond starred in Joseph in the amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, where his Dreamcoat, Technicolor, has a ton of different kinds of colors on it, rainbow. And the other clue that goes hand in hand with the wig, in that video, Donny Osmond, or in that movie, I'm sorry, Donny Osmond wears a wig that comes down to here. That ties together those main clues. Now, of course, when he's talking about, let's see, soldier, Donny Osmond, a soldier of love, he talks about that in his last clue video that refers to Donny Osmond, of course. What's also interesting, talking about sharing the spotlight, he's always pretty much shared the spotlight with his sister, Marie. Donny and Marie had their show on NBC, which everyone says is also another sort of a clue that he's the peacock, because the symbol for the peacock is also NBC. So that could potentially be another main clue. I don't really know about that, especially because it's airing on Fox. I don't think they really would have allowed that, but oh well. The next thing everyone's asking about is the magic. For those who don't know, Donny Osmond did a lot of magic tricks, whether it was on the TV show Donny and Marie or when he was in Vegas. Because for those who don't know, he had a residency in Vegas, and he still does a ton of things in Vegas. I believe right now, if I remember correctly, he's at the Flamingo. If you look about, you could probably get tickets to see Donny Osmond at the Flamingo, which I'm guessing after tonight, ticket sales are going to be amazing for him. But hey, those are all the clues that we have for the peacock, pointing to it being Donny Osmond. Now, of course, there's other ones, such as him saying that he's got 80 reasons or 80 million reasons to love life, which refers to him selling 80 million records. 1 second, live streaming. Sorry, my wife just texted me. I'm about to tell her that I'm live streaming. I said I'm leaving streaming, which I guess is almost kind of right. But anyway, so I'm reading your guys' comments right here. A lot of you guys are agreeing. All right, a lot of you guys are agreeing. Give me 1 second. Matt is throwing a major amount of emojis up, which is blocking a lot of your guys' stuff. Okay, okay. Someone's asking, how could you watch the show if you don't have Fox? I don't know where they stream it. You could probably watch a pirated version of it off of whatchamacallit, Reddit. Now, those who are just joining the show, a lot of you guys are asking what time the show is starting. If you're on the East Coast, it starts in exactly 1 hour. Can you believe we have 1 hour to the last 2 hours of the show, last 2 episodes. I can't believe it. Now, we ready? For those who just joined us, we already went through all the clues in the audio as it pertains to the peacock and the monster, which is leading us to the bee. And for those who are just getting added to the show, go ahead in the comment section and guess who you think is going to win. Tammy says you can watch it through here on YouTube. I don't know what channel you can watch it through. Normally, when they air the show, let's just say that normally airs at 9 p.m. Tonight, it's airing at 8 Eastern Time. Normally, when they air it by 9:01 p.m., they go ahead and they put up all of their performances and all the clue videos literally at 9:01. Now, I don't know what's going to happen tonight because it's a season finale. They might wait to the end, just like how they do the reveals. Let's say the show ends at 10 p.m. Then by 10:02, they put up online who won the show, which is a bummer for everyone that is on the West Coast because you don't see the show. So there's a ton of spoilers online already, and you guys kind of get, not to say you kind of get screwed over, but that's kind of what happens. But we have a lot of new people joining the show. We already went through the monster who we've decided, you and I, with all the clues and the audio, we've decided was T-Pain. We also just decided, literally like 4 minutes ago, that the peacock was Donny Osmond. Now, the last one, the bee, is interesting because so far I feel like that is the most fought over character that is remaining on the show. A lot of people think it's Chaka Khan. A lot of people think it's Tina Turner. A lot of people think it's Gladys Knight. No one seems to really have a feel on who they think it is. So in the comment section, feel free, whether it's over here, I don't know where it is, by the way, depending on where you're watching from, it could be above, underneath, there, here. Some people are watching on their TV. I don't even know how that even looks. But comment who you think is going to win. I'm going to read through some of these comments, and then we're going to go through all the clues and the audio for the peacock. All right. So Jay Fatone says a monster is going to win. People are saying it's Gladys Knight. Char. Sorry, I don't know how to say your name. It says it's Gladys. Lauren says, hi, how you doing? Marvy says it's Gladys Knight. Deadman Walking says, I wish that the rabbit made it to the finals. So do I. The rabbit, Joey Fatone, was so talented. Hopefully this helps jumpstart some kind of career for him. Well, he has a career, but maybe something new. Plants vs. Zombies. That's an interesting name. I like that. It says the monster on the way, but I don't think he'll win it all. Jacob says it's because we're live. The show starts at 8:09, and right now it's 4:07 where you live. Yeah, unfortunately, it's funny because if you live on the West Coast, it's 8 p.m. Central Time is 7 p.m., which means that Central Time gets the same time when it airs with us. And then the West Coast, you guys always get forgotten for some reason. It's a shame. I feel bad. So that would mean, I forget what time that would air for you guys. But right now, we're going to go through all of the audio and the clues for the bee. Before we get started, we have a brand new audience. A lot of you guys are new to the channel. So as always, I like to go ahead and do a little bit of a, hey, how are you? So for those who are just joining us, hi, how are you? My name is Joey. I'm an executive audio producer whose job it is to go ahead and find audio for morning shows nationwide. Now, when I find this audio, the audio needs to sound good. And if it sounds bad, I'll go ahead and make it sound good. But if there's a high frequency, I'll cut that out. Or if it's money, I'll cut out the lower end. Long story short of it all is that when Fox airs these clue videos, they pitch up the audio and they speed it up so that you can't tell who the celebrity is by just them talking. Which, I mean, honestly, it makes sense. It makes it harder for us to guess. But me being the, I guess some people like to say a-hole, because some of the comments people call me a-holes for doing this, I said, hey, I can make this audio sound good. So what do? I slow it down, I pitch corrected it, and then we can determine and listen to the real celebrity's voice. Now, you can, of course, guess just on the voice, and then from there, we can add in the clues to really define who we think that celebrity is. And once again, we already did the monster, we already did the peacock, which T-Pain, Donny Osmond, and now it's time for the bee, which is one of those characters that a lot of you guys have been fighting over. A lot of you guys can't really decide who you think it is. Well, let's go through it together. I'm going to go ahead and play the audio of what Fox aired for the Peacock. So this is what they originally aired in their package. A little shortened down because I cut out the judges, because the judges on this show are completely pointless. But this is what the B sounds like with no pitch correct and no slowed down. So here we go.
Some of the panel are convinced that I'm the queen of the pip. But what if I've been giving mixed messages all this time? I want to tell you, my fans, my recipe for success. You know I like baking. And you know that nobody makes a peach cobbler quite like mine. But after all these years of hit after hit, it's this Grammy's voice that I'm hoping will lead me to the final. I am surprised by how competitive I've become as an insect, but I'm really going for it now. So I'm serving up a powerful song by my good friend, Aretha Franklin. I'm hoping it will give me the sweet taste of victory.
Okay. So now we're going to go ahead. We're going to slow it down. We're going to pitch correct it. And this is what it sounds like after we run it through our system.
Some of the panel are convinced that I'm the queen of the pip. But what if I've been giving mixed messages all this time? I want to tell you, my fans, my recipe for success. You know I like baking. And you know that nobody makes a peach cobbler quite like mine. But after all these years of hit after hit, it's this Grammy's voice that I'm hoping will lead me to the final. I am surprised by how competitive I've become as an insect, but I'm really going for it now. So I'm serving up a powerful song by my good friend, Aretha Franklin. I'm hoping it will give me the sweet taste of victory.
All right. Right there, you've heard who the B sounds like or who the B is. Any guesses on just the voice before we get into the clues? And of course, you can write that in the comment section there, here, up, down, below. I don't know. Maybe it's on my face. But Joey Fatone says B is Gladys Knight. Michelle says possibly Patti LaBelle. Desiree says Gladys Knight. Netta Jones says Gladys Knight. To quote Keenan, who in their right mind doesn't know that that's Gladys Knight? That's very true. Now, there's been a lot of guesses, once again, on who everyone thinks it is. A lot of people said it could be Tina Turner, could be Patti LaBelle, or could be Gladys Knight. Now, my guess, and what I've been saying so far, is that it's Gladys Knight. These are what the clues say. In my long career, I've flown to soaring heights, and I've never wanted to stop doing what I love. That she's also been a worker bee, and that's what keeps her young. So we know it's someone who's maybe not old, but definitely aged, has been around for a while. We found out that she is 5'4", which means she's quite short, but she's still taller than me. I'm very short, so she's got an inch on me. 1 second, responding to my wife, telling her that I love her. She says that you can call me Queen Bee, but Empress also suits me, implying that she's a nickname of Empress at one time in her career. Coming to the show, she's looking forward to singing for a new generation, also showing that she's been around for a while. Excuse me 1 second. And then she's revealed that she's been singing in the 50s. Now, in episode 6, the Bee brought out a couple objects, one of which being bakeware, saying that is her second favorite thing to do. In week 7, she talks about singing hits from today's music, is that it's getting tougher, but she's doing what she knows best, and she shelled out singing Tina Turner. What's love got to do with it? Which, I don't think any of them I don't think any of them sang their own songs yet. So that would be a clue that it's not Tina Turner. We also found out that she's won 10 Grammys. Now let's go through a couple of things real quick. First thing you got to understand, Gladys Knight was known for the Empress of Soul. I mean, that was her nickname. Singing from the 50s onward, that was her nickname. So while her saying that Empress suits her better, it does. I mean, that's Gladys Knight's name. Empress of Soul. So that obviously makes sense. Going with the bakeware, she had her own cookbook called At Home with Gladys Knight, which was her personal recipe for living well, eating right, and loving life. She also wound up having her own restaurant in Atlanta, Georgia. For those who don't know, she's from the South. Obviously, she's leaving on that train I'm leaving on that midnight train to Georgia, living on the midnight train to Georgia, woo woo. Anyway, we find out that later on that she shows pictures of peaches, Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, especially known for their peaches, and she talks about being the queen of the peach cobbler. For those who also don't know, she used to have her own restaurant one time. It was Gladys's Waffle Chicken and Waffles. It's either chicken and waffles or waffles and chicken, where she actually had a very, very high reviewed, I guess you could just say on Yelp and TripAdvisor, high reviews, a lot of stars. I guess 5 stars on her peach cobbler. So it kind of shows you that she loves baking and that people really love her peach cobbler. So those clues are all kind of getting all together. Now, saying that she started singing in the 50s, let's see when Gladys Knight's first main song. First song we're looking at 1919. We're going back. Here's 61. Come on, Gladys Knight song list. 1950. 1960, like an idiot. Don't do that. What was the first song she put out? Can't find the first song. Because I know the Pips came out in the 50s. I don't know the exact date. I know they performed together from the 1950s to the 1980s, with their main song being Midnight Train to Georgia. Of course, they recorded a lot of songs. When the Saints Go Marching In was a big one for them. But long story short, the biggest clue out of all of these we find out is that the person who is the masked singer for the Bee has won 10 Grammys. And a lot of people have argued over the time that Gladys Knight, if you go on the Grammy website, Gladys Knight has only won 7 Grammys. And put people to shame. For those who don't know, yes, she won 7 as Gladys Knight. I mean, it's Gladys Knight, for crying out loud. It's Gladys Knight. Amazing singer. But she also won 3 with the Pips. So if you add in the 7 plus 3, that gives you 10. And a lot of people are saying it's Chaka Khan. And the one thing you have to remember about Chaka Khan is that she didn't start singing until the 70s? So that whole 20-year thing is kind of missing there. I mean, not to put an age to Chaka Khan, but she's only 65. So it was what? Born in 53? There was no way that she would have been able to have a Grammy from A, then, and B, be a star since then. The other thing we learned is that that the Bee was good friends with Aretha Franklin. And, of course, Gladys Knight, if you go back to when the funeral was for Aretha, which is very recent, she not only spoke, but she also sang. So, yeah, everything points to it being the Bee. Now, do you agree with me? Do you think could it be someone else? Now, what I thought was interesting was the fact that during all this show, a lot of these celebrities were doing a lot of press. I mean, Joey Fatone was going around for his new show, and Gladys Knight just so happened to sing the national anthem on the Super Bowl and really knocked it out of the park. I mean, it was interesting. I mean, just listen to her. Did you hear that part right there? She uses her vibrato. That is such a signature Gladys Knight thing. And when the Bee performs, she happens to do the same thing, which once again points it to being Gladys Knight. Do you agree with me? Do you think I'm plumb crazy? Do you think that this is not Gladys Knight? Do you think it could be someone else? I want to know. Comment in the comment section. I'm going to go through your comments. Jake says, hello from Alaska. Hey, Jake, please send over some crabs. I would appreciate it. Anetta Sones, Chaka's voice is way different than the Bee's to me. That's true. Chaka has a brighter pitch. Okay, let's see. Yes, you guys are talking about the Grammys. We do have 7 with Gladys, 3 with the Pips. Tori says Gladys Knight is the Bee, Joey. I agree, of course. He says, agree, Joey. It's Gladys Knight. Do you guys think we're wrong with any of these guesses? For those who are just joining us, we went through the audio. We went through the clues. We said that the bee is Gladys Knight. The peacock is Donny Osmond. And the monster is T-Pain. And as I said from the beginning of the video, from the live stream, which we've been doing for about almost an hour now, we're first going to guess who everyone is under the mask. And doing the audio and the clues, we've done that. Now it's a matter of who's going to win the show. Now, because we've never seen what a season finale of this show would look like, this is kind of just a guess from this point out. We don't know for the first hour. Are they all going to perform together? That would be amazing. I would love to see that. Are they going to perform individually and then at the end of the first episode reveal who's under that one person? I don't know. Or are they going to wait and do 2 hours of performances and then from there go ahead and reveal who everyone is? Also, my question is there going to be a second place and third place kind of thing? Or is it more or less we just have a winner? All these questions that we don't have answers to because we've never had a season finale of this show yet. Now, I want to go ahead and go through a couple of things. So you guys had a lot of comments and questions about how can this show be so secretive? And I honestly think this was the most interesting thing. They put a video online talking about how they do this. The contestant first dresses up in all black with gloves, long socks, and a mask. They drive their car, or their posse drives their car out to a random location where another producer picks them up. They then drive all in the same car, blacked out windows, into the lot, and then from there get out and go in their own dressing room where no one can talk to them, no one can disturb them. When they perform, they wear their mask and they rehearse, and no one can talk to them. No one can talk to them. They can't even talk to themselves. If they have to talk to someone, they have to go back to their dressing room, which supposedly I was told was soundproof. I highly doubt they would spend all that money on soundproofing, but who knows? When it comes to the reveals, we found out in another video that we posted with the Masked Singer. This is actually something really interesting that I didn't even realize later on. First, we found out that when they do the reveals, they first go ahead and they have the audiences, they record the audience reacting. The beginning of the show, they have them clapping. They recorded on this. No one's on stage at this point. They have the audience going, oh, ah, and things like that, just so they have reaction time. And then they do the show. Once it gets to the point of the reveals, they have the celebrity, and you can watch this through the Lions video. They have the celebrity grab their head and they start shaking it back and forth as though they're going to reveal themselves, and then they hit cut. And the reason why we know this is because in Rumor Willis's video, you'll notice that the monster goes like this and someone's sitting behind her and the lights are off. Then when they clip over to the next one, she turns around and the person that was sitting behind her is now gone. And you can see that the soundstage lights are on because you can see the reflection of the chairs. So we found out that there is no audience members there. They do show in the very front like a pan of like 6 people. We found out that those are just producers or family of the producers. So really isn't many people who actually know who wins the show. And the other thing which was interesting that someone mentioned on here, which I thought was great, is that if you look at Rumor Willis's video, there was an interview about this too. Her hair, obviously they have to put it up in a bun to put it under that mask. But when she took it off, her hair was perfect. It was perfectly curled and it looked great and her makeup looked great. If you just got done performing a whole set, singing, dancing, your hair and your makeup would not look that perfect. Especially because she turned around for the next clue and her mask was already off and she just went like this. I mean, come on. Now at that point, no one would know who won except for the judges, the producers, the cameramen, and things like that. So that's how they kept it a secret. Any questions on that? I mean, to me, I found it to be very interesting. Fox really went out of their way to keep this secret. And I'm told that this is the most secret a show has ever been. So some interesting facts for you. Now I'm going to go ahead and go to the audience member. Demin Walking says, greeting from Arizona. Hi, how are you? Jake Duran says, what kind of crab? King crab, Dungeness. I don't like fish, so if you could send me some Dungeness crabs, I would love a case. That would be amazing. I love Dungeness crab. for those who don't know, if you actually go through my YouTube videos, I'm a licensed non-commercial crabber in New Jersey. So it's kind of cool, even though I live in New York. But I grew up in South Jersey. Anyway, and Marva says, yes, rumor says that she did have an audience. Now, you have the audience for the whole thing, but when you're revealed, they don't have a full audience. It's not a thing. Look it up. We did, if you go through our videos and go through Rumor's video, you'll notice that there is no audience in the background. But yeah, so we are now about an hour, not even an hour, I'm sorry. I keep thinking it's 9. It's 8 o'clock tonight Eastern time, 7 Central, and then whatever time it is West. Sorry, guys. Kind of get forgotten there. But we're 35 minutes away from showtime. This is so exciting. You and I right now went through all the clues. We went through all of the audio, and we determined that the peacock is Donny Osmond, the monster is T-Pain, and then from there, the B is Gladys Knight. And now for my predictions when it comes to who's going to win the show. Overall, it's Monster. Monster's going to win it. I mean, that's the bottom line. Monster's going to win the show. And the reason why is because Nicole's saying that where it's going to be unbelievable who the singer is and that no one guessed him and all that kind of stuff. And we learned that the only person they haven't guessed yet throughout the entire show was, any guesses? T-Pain. They haven't guessed T-Pain yet. And also the main producer, Chris, who's also the producer of Dancing with the Star, also revealed that the winner of the entire show is somebody the panel has not mentioned yet. And once again, T-Pain's the only one. Now, a lot of them, I mean, even Keenan said, for those who don't know, that's definitely Gladys Knight's voice. Everyone knew Donny Osmond. This week, I think it's T-Pain. Now, once again, we don't know who's going to be second or third. Honestly, overall, I kind of wish that the Peacock would win it all. But realistically, I think the Peacock is going to get third. I think that the B is going to get second. And then overall, the Monster is going to win it all. I want to know what you guys think. What order do you think everyone's going to win in? Go ahead and comment below. Excuse me. Make a list. Do B whatever, Peacock whatever, and then, Monster whatever. Also, if you guys want to watch any of the audio that we did over again, you can go through the YouTube channel. I mean, we've been putting up videos daily for the past 3 weeks, all just on The Masked Singer. It's a lot of videos, by the way. My wife thinks I'm crazy sometimes, and she doesn't even watch the show. I mostly did this because of my boss. But, yeah. So far, going to the comments. Some people, Planet versus Zombie says B1, then Monster, then Peacock. Tiki says the Monster win, but it's not deserved. Ms. Cindy81 says Peacock third, B second, Monster wins. Jake Duran says Monster B, Peacock. Deadman Walking says Monster, Peacock B. Caught Dead, Monster, Peacock B. Menon says, I love your videos. Thank you. I really appreciate you guys. And if I don't say that enough, I do apologize. I really do appreciate you guys and all the support you've given me over the last 8 weeks. You guys really have been fantastic. I mean, before this, I did just vlog videos. And when I did my first Masked Singer, which is probably still one of my most watched videos, you guys took it and ran it. Thank you, by the way, to the person that puts my videos on Reddit. Whoever you are, I love you. And if it's not on there yet, please someone put it on there. But you guys exploded this channel. We went from just over 1,000 followers on January 1st to, last time I checked, we're at 4,300. And that's all because you guys either find me interesting or you guys really went ahead and like the audio and like what we did here. And I want to thank you guys. Your support really does mean a lot to me. This all started because I wanted to prove my boss wrong. Her and I were going back and forth on who we think potentially who the celebrity is. And I went, I could figure this out really quickly. And I did it the first night. So for me, it was a lot of fun. And having you guys with me along with the journey was truly the blessing. It really was a lot of fun. And of course, season 2 comes out next year. And of course, we'll bring it back. Now, in the meanwhile, we used to do a lot of vlogs and a lot of fun videos on this channel. If you like my personality, you can hang around as we do more vlogs. Like, for example, next week we're going to Disney, Universal. We'll be down in Florida. Then I live in New York City, so it's the greatest city in the world. I say that in quotes because I don't know anyone who actually lives here who calls it that. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys. If you want to see more vlogs, let me know. Now that I've waited a little bit, let's go back into the comments section and see what you guys think. Oh, and by the way, if you haven't done so yet, please like our video, and please like our channel, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so the next time we put a new video up, which will be tomorrow because we're going to recap the entire show. I'll probably be like a 20-minute long video. But yeah, let's go ahead and go through this. Brightress, I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong, says you should auto-tune the monster's performance so it sounds like his recordings. You know what? That's a really, really good idea. Only problem is I wouldn't be able to separate his voice from the soundtrack behind it unless I have the same one. If I had the same one, I could go ahead and isolate the soundtrack, pull that out, and just get the monster voice. We could try that. I wonder if that would work. But if I were to auto-tune that, that would be hilarious. You know, that's a great idea. I'm going to go ahead and do that. But reading what you guys are saying, you guys are all agreeing that the monster is going to win. It's a lot of you guys are guessing whether or not Peacock would be third or second, vice versa, when it comes to the B. And honestly, I'm just guessing on that too. I mean, if I had my guess, I feel like the Peacock would have been revealed. If this was if next week would have been the season finale, I feel like this week the Peacock would have been revealed. Mostly because it's Gladys Knight. Man, she is a legend. I mean, Donny Osmond's a legend too, but when I go to rank them, I put Donny a little bit under Gladys Knight just because it's Gladys Knight. I mean, her voice, she's a legend. I mean, my grandmother loves Gladys Knight. I mean, Gladys Knight is a household name. Donny Osmond, for the younger generations, may not know him as well. But having T-Pain win it all would be the main thing on everyone's saying. It's unbelievable that he wins it. But right now, we are currently 27 minutes away from showtime. I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited. I can't believe that the show is ending today. I'm actually really sad about this. But 8 weeks later, or 9 weeks later, well-deserved. Now, I hope and I wish that they would do the same thing they do on The Voice, where they air two of you like that? There we go, two of them, 2 seasons every year, because that'd be fun. And that way we could do it more in here. Going to the comments and see what you guys are saying. Donnie has a strong voice. Sandy says T-Pain doesn't really deserve to win. He should be third. Penny says Gladys is a legend, and she sounded amazing. She still sounds amazing. It's interesting after all these years, being at her age, which I don't want to mention ages for females, it's not right. She still sounds amazing. It's insane. I mean, Donnie sounds great too, but once again, I'm Team Monster. I would like for next year's show, because we're going to do another episode talking about next year, but for next year's show, I kind of wish they don't give us heights. I don't want that. Maybe not give us Grammys? I don't know. Maybe we can keep the Grammys. But maybe give us less clues, and that way it won't be as bad for next year. Now, I will give you a warning. I know for a fact that Fox producers do watch my videos. And I hope next year they don't add distortion. I'm probably giving them ideas right now. Stupid of me bringing it up. But I hope they don't bring us any kind of distortion, because I really don't want the audio to sound bad once I pitch corrected it. But Deadman Walking says, you're awesome, man. I love your channel and your personality. Thank you. I appreciate that. I want to thank you guys again for all the support you gave me for the past couple of weeks. In 2 days, we'll do a couple more mask videos. And then after that, we're going to return back to the old format, which was our vlogs, which if you find me interesting, my wife is Ukrainian. She's extremely sarcastic to me. It's really hilarious. So if you want to stay along with me and have fun, next week we're going to Disney. We'll put up some other clue videos for these things, more videos for this. But yeah, stick around with me. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. Hit the notification bell. We're currently 26 minutes away from determining who's going to win this show. But I want to thank you guys. Please subscribe. Once the video is done, please go in the comments section and actually comment, not in the live chat, but in the comment section. And now, one thing I notoriously do with every single video, whether it's a live stream, whether it's a vlog, whether it is a reveal video, I like to add one funny thing, or one thing for you to think about at the end, to write in the comment section, not in the live stream. And the question for today, before we talked about fruit, Disney animals, we talked about if you had $100,000, let's think what we could do for the comment section today. And I think the main reason why we do it is because not everyone watches the videos to the end. So it's fun to put something really goofy in the comment section so that if people watch the video and want to know what the heck is going on, it kind of is funny. So in the comment section, go ahead and comment. If you could travel anywhere in the world, where would you go, A? And B, what would you bring with you if you had to bring 3 things? That should be fun, right? Anyway, you can go ahead and watch all of my other videos with the other audio through the other videos once the live stream is done. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. And guys, thank you again for your support. I really do appreciate it. Feel free to share anything with your friends. Feel free to put it on Reddit. Please put it on Reddit. But I hope you guys have a great night. We have 24 more minutes to go until the show starts. I'm going to go because I've got to get ready for work. It is what? Wednesday. So I got to get ready for work. And I got to get dinner ready for my wife. And she'll be home soon. And I love her. Got to make sure everything's ready for my wife. But I hope you guys have a great night. Let's enjoy the finale. I'm going to join you guys again tomorrow after the show. I'm going to give you guys a couple hours after the show. I'll probably put up a video tomorrow. We'll probably do 6 to make it easier on everyone. But you guys have a great night. Thank you for joining me. And let's get ready for the season finale.